Our guest today is Kyla Piscopink, a multifaceted dancer, choreographer, and Kyla is the founder and artistic director of Dance Key West. Welcome, Kyla. We're very excited to be speaking with you.
Thank you so much for having me today. I'm honored and delighted to be here with you.
Your career has gone into very many directions. You've been in theater, all kinds of dance, worked with music, and you've even gone into social issues. You've also been a big advocate for outreach. Now making your home in Key West, how do you bring all of these elements together in your life and in your work?
I really love this question because what's that saying? They say life is what happens when you're busy making plans. And that's kind of the answer to this. So each thing, whether it's theater or dance or music or anything, everything has been a stepping stone to the next. I came to Key West to take a break from New York City, and I was supposed to stay for 6 or 7 months. And then I met and fell in love with my now husband. So when that was happening, I was like, gosh, what do? I can't live in a place without a dance scene. But am I the person who can help grow that? What am I going to do? I'm a dancer, I'm a performer, I'm in theater. My heart though said, no, this guy, this is the one. So I stayed and I kind of became an accidental artistic director. So whereas a lot of dancers, I feel like follow the path of dancing with multiple companies and then eventually becoming choreographers and artistic directors later in life, I flipped it and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. Here we go. That's how it all started. Like all artists, we want to pursue creative work and anything that allows us self-expression. And so it started with all of that. I was like, I'm going to create this company and opportunities for myself. And through doing that, I found all these other beautiful things, like it led me to the outreach work that I do. It's interesting because it started from a very self-serving place. I can't live without dance. I need dance. So I'm going to make this happen. And then I found the most rewarding part of it all came through that somehow.
It seems like you were really filling a void in Key West that was needed.
That's exactly how it felt. And all of the work that has happened since its inception has been about filling voids, whether it's bringing more site-specific into the community or filling theaters locally with dance, or the ultimate void of the outreach program. I was teaching dance at a local studio here, but at one point I realized every teacher is special, but I feel there are people here who can do what I'm doing. What can I do to better use my abilities, my talents? And that's when it came to me about the outreach. How can I fill voids? I love so much that you just said that. I always say I was looking to fill voids, and that's been such a gift. There's something beautiful about presenting dance and seeing your work on stage, and it's indescribable, right? But when you can see dance fill other people that wouldn't necessarily be exposed to the art form on a weekly or daily basis, wow, that just knocked it out of the park for me.
That's really wonderful. When we were speaking with you a little bit earlier, you mentioned that you were staying away from social media for a period. This world that we're in is like social media crazy. So how has it been not being on social media? How has it affected your work and how has it affected you?
I would be lying if I was to say that I wasn't worried about it. But so far, so good. The opportunities keep happening. The funding that would normally exist keeps happening. Curators are still contacting me. I was scared I was going to disappear digitally, but I also had this overwhelming feeling that I wanted to give this a shot and see if it was sustainable. Like maybe we don't need it. I mean, I think we all know it's a lot of work. I started to realize at some point I was working for Instagram. Got to get something out there, got to get something. And I was thinking, this is the reverse of what it's supposed to be, trying to present something or an idea before it's fully realized. I felt a huge sense of relief, and I know it's not for everyone, but it's worth a try.
While you feel like you were going to disappear, but that you actually didn't disappear. People still contacted you. You still stayed in the system and stayed in mainstream, and that's really positive to hear. Carrying on from that conversation, you are often invited to speak and to choreograph in places other than Key West. So how have those experiences in Key West impact what you take to other places?
I do think it's true, wherever you go, there you are. But there's also something special about locations. Key West has a really supportive arts community. The people here in the nonprofit organizations are very welcoming and supportive. So I feel that foundation of support and encouragement has allowed me to blossom in a way that I wouldn't have been able to in another place. I always wanted to be in New York, where I came from, but now I can see, I don't think I have that killer instinct, that sort of competitive edge. And this place has given me that ability to grow into who I am and share it.
Talk to us about motherhood and family and the busy life that you have. How do you do it all?
Whew. I am a busy woman, and what I've come to believe is that balance is a complete and utter myth. I always used to chase it, and then as soon as I got pregnant, I realized, wow, maybe I'm not so in control of all of this stuff. And maybe I can't organize and compartmentalize and put everything where I want it to go. And instead of looking for balance, I've decided it's better to try and integrate and assimilate and let things just kind of coexist. And sometimes that looks amazing. And then other times it's a complete disaster, but it's okay. Trust the flow. Oh, my favorite mantra actually comes from this. Cooperate with the present moment and align yourself with love. You know, you can have it all, but maybe not all at once. But even if you do have it all at once, you can make it work. You just have to be patient and flexible.
Yeah, I love that. It sounds so healthy and sounds so positive. That's a very, very good thing. I think sometimes we want things so quickly.
I don't feel like I should get credit for it because it just kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. It was like, well, you can adapt, or I don't know.
How has this past year impacted you? What are your takeaways?
I just tried to apply that same philosophy of, okay, here, this is where we are. Let's see what we can do. So we did a lot of virtual stuff. I think there's something to be said about showing up and doing the best you can, but I don't feel like we got a lot of views. And I don't blame them because dance is so about being in person and so physical. But, you know, I think it's great that we all did our best. My biggest takeaway from this year is to focus on what really matters. It was a clean slate. That's the silver lining, I think, of a very dark cloud. This is an opportunity to clean out the drawers here and see what's working and what's not and how I can make my time count. Because I think when you lose a year, you go, okay, life is fast. I wasn't expecting that, and I don't want to lose another day. I just keep saying to myself, focus on what really matters. What really matters.
Do you hope that something in the dance world comes out of this rather difficult time that we've had?
I hope for the dance world that we can keep pushing on and moving forward with greater intention than ever. Focus on what really matters. What really matters. This year, something beautiful happened for our company, expanding on our outreach programs. My sister is a professor of criminology and criminal justice at the University of Alabama. She had started this program at the University of Wyoming where she taught previously, and it was a women's prison program where she was bringing college courses from the University of Wyoming into the women's prison there. And she worked a lot on creative writing with them. And before the pandemic, we had talked about how could we bring dance into this? And I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. How can we? And then during the pandemic, she and I worked on developing the program. Coming out of this, we're going to be able to start digging in. And so I hope that it was an incubative time for everyone.
That sounds like a lovely silver lining, that you were given the time to do something that you wanted to do. Kyla, it was so beautiful speaking with you. You're so gracious and you're so kind and you have such a warm heart and you live in the present, and that's so refreshing. So thank you for your honesty and for all that you do.
Thank you. I am so utterly grateful and honored. Thank you.